I'm trying to get out of the podcast voice. Like,
your podcast voice isn't really different than your actual voice. I think you just think that it's different. I don't even think it's different. I think it's just you're aware that you're talking, so it's just you just have an overactive. So it's all in my head. Yeah.
Is this podcast in my head?
Maybe.
Are you in my head?
I could be. I actually have no idea how all of this works. So like, this could be a dream right now.
What if all reality is just in my head?
It's possible.
You don't really exist.
We don't know what sentience is. This is a deep dive. This is weird.
Hello! Off. Spin-off. Podcast. Hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Shaheer. And this is Spin-off.
Hey, we did it without having to do it a second time. That was cool.
We're getting better at this.
All right. And now knowing that we actually probably will release the first 2 episodes, I feel like I can safely say that this is our 3rd episode.
Yeah.
I might not be able to say that the next episode's our 4th episode because this might be terrible. And
yeah.
We don't.
Mine is not releasing this one.
Yeah. This is the podcast where we take a show and we both pitch spin-offs for that show.
Based on plot or character from the show.
Or characters.
True.
That's kind of a hint towards maybe what I'm pitching today.
Okay. All right.
All right. So what show are we doing, Shaheer?
This week we are doing American Dad.
I'd first like to say good for us because this is actually the first show that we've done so far. Even though but it's the first one that's actually... it doesn't already have a spin-off.
Yeah.
And it is currently a show still running.
Yeah.
Our past 2 have been shows that are canceled. So listen up, Seth MacFarlane. You know, you could definitely
American
take
Dad,
one of these spin-offs.
It did just get picked up for another season. So, like, we don't even have to worry about that being dated. So if you're
listening...
Unless you're in the future, and then once again, like, at the time of recording this, the show has just been picked up for another season.
American Dad's going to last forever. So
I mean, obviously. It should.
I hope you're listening to this the day after that show is canceled. American Dad's going to last forever.
It's just somebody really upset American Dad's been canceled, so they just look for everything.
Feel better.
Yeah, they just look for everything American Dad, and they're like, there's a way we can save this. I found this podcast, and there's this great idea for a pitch for a spinoff. Guys, please make this happen. Please.
He's like running through empty hallways with his phone with the podcast, be like, I found a way. I found a way.
Do you want to tell the audience why American Dad is so awesome by explaining the plot?
All right. Well, American Dad is an animated sitcom created by Seth MacFarlane, Mike Barker, and Matt Weitzman. I'm sure I'm butchering at least one of those names.
I heard Mike Whiteman.
Weitzman. There's a Z in there.
Oh, Weitzman.
There we go. It follows Stan Smith, a conservative CIA agent, and his family living in Langley Falls, Virginia. There's also a talking fish and a cross-dressing alien, so it's pretty relatable to the average Virginia family.
Absolutely.
Anything you want to say, Shaheer?
I love American Dad. It's one of my favorite shows. It's one of my go-to-sleep Hulu shows.
Yeah, I haven't seen many of like the newest episodes, but every time I catch one, I haven't seen. Like it's normally a great episode. Like
yeah,
it's definitely a show that's grown from their first season, where it was more or less just like another Family Guy.
I've grown to like this first season more since I've been watching it to go to sleep and everything. When I first started watching it, I just would skip like the first season. Right. And then just like watch the second season, or I'd skip the first 2 seasons or watch the 3rd season. So I think that's when it really started to hit its stride.
Well, they also kind of had to back down from like the conservative Stan character, I think, because, you know, political shifts.
Yeah.
Also, once they nailed down like the Roger character too, I feel like that's kind of where it starts. Like,
yeah, I think Stan went from because I mean it's satire, of course, but it went from like super conservative, serious satire to just like more of a normal person with conservative standings.
Right.
But like everything that happens around him leans towards like everyday man and, you know, pretty much like liberal basics. Like
right. Because they definitely, like in the first season, they had a full on like anti-gay like episode. They had a terrorist watch episode. They've definitely backed away from that.
All right. So do you want to tell us about your spinoff idea?
All right. So the last couple, we spun off like 1 or 2 characters from the show. I'm going to be spinning off 98 characters. I'm just looking at the look. The look on Shaheer's face was very,
very podcastable.
You have good podcast face.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so this is actually taking off from a specific episode. This episode was titled 100 AD, and it was the 100th episode of American Dad. I don't know if you remember that one, Shaheer.
Yes, where 100 characters will die. And then Roger was the crypt keeper.
Right, so they say at the beginning of the show, in the corner they have the ticker, and every time a character died, the ticker goes up. So that's happening, and the ticker's in the corner, and it's already, at this point in the episode, it's already at 1, because I think Stan kills a dog, right? And so there's a scene where there's a bus loaded with all of these characters that were just like super small characters within the show of the previous seasons.
Right after they made the announcement for the reward for Haley.
Because he's trying to stop Haley and Jeff's marriage.
Yeah.
And so they're all on the bus. And then the bus explodes and they all die.
But falls off a bridge and then explodes.
Falls off a bridge and then explodes and they all die. And the ticker immediately goes up to 98.
Yeah.
So I will be following those characters. So what's going to happen is it's going to turn out that they were all perfect candidates for this CIA experimental mass casualty revival system. And it was designed by a subdivision of the CIA. So they're all brought back to life. There was one exception, though. Well, 2 exceptions to that, which I'll get into later. But
so the rocket ship character doesn't count, right?
Do you mean Bullet Billy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bullet Billy. Bobby the Bullet. So yeah, Bobby the Bullet's one of the exceptions. When the bus crashes, he flies off and then hits
Stan's demon friend.
Brett Morris. Yeah, Stan's satanic friend. And they get like swallowed up into the depths of hell.
Yeah.
That comes back. So in the bus crash scene, I feel like I'm probably going to edit this out, but I feel like I should name all these characters.
all 98.
Okay, so actually the thing with the bus crash scene is the ticker went up to 98, but there were actually only like 36 seeable characters.
Yeah.
And those characters were Mr. Kirchhoff, Ted Fiedler, black-haired stripper, Bjorn, Tanqueray, Baco, Bellman Katie, Chipmunk Fury. I honestly have no idea who that. I checked back the episode where that person was from. I couldn't figure who that was. Meg Penner, Mr. AIDS, Meter Maid, Beauregard LaFontaine, Montague, Clifford, Bob Hope impersonator, woman with white blonde hair, tall-headed man, balding man with glasses, overweight woman seen at the Smiths party, Alejandro Roja, Pillow Hands McGraw, bus driver, Ray, Matt Moyer, Gertie, street racer, man with glasses and no tie, Casey, Coco, Arborist, his friend, clown with glasses, Duper, Brett Morris, Bobby the Bullet.
Hold on. Was there a clown or was there just clown with glasses?
Clown with glasses. So I like how I'm going off the wiki fan page, and they definitely, he's listed as clown with glasses.
Like, you got it. Look, there were other clowns in American Dad, but this one had glasses.
And actually, I think the only reason clown with glasses is known is because they were he was one of the they were at his funeral, and it showed the picture of the clown with glasses.
Gotcha.
So all these characters, these beloved American Dad characters, are coming back.
There was man with glasses and tie, right?
Man with glasses and no tie.
No tie.
That's very specific. Yeah. Plot twist we're probably going to save for a later season is he's going to put on a tie.
Oh my God.
All right. So, like I said, turns out it's experimental mass casualty revival system designed by by a subdivision of the CIA. That revives all of the victims with the exception of Brett Morris and Bobby the Bullet. So with the revival experiment, there was a side effect, and it actually made all of them have enhanced senses, strength, and speed. So they are actually the perfect government agents. So they're all brought back, and then the CIA decides to have them work for the operation of the CIA. Mm-hmm. and to, perform missions that turn out to be actually, the missions that no one else in the CIA wants to do. Also, one of the caveats with the revival process is that now they're brought back, it can never work again on the same person. So once they're dead, they are dead. And I'll make it clear that in the show, we are bringing back all of the 98. And this show is actually going to be called The 98.
I might have missed it. What genre is it?
It's going to be a half-hour comedy.
Okay.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time.
Are you going to give these characters names, or are they just going to be what they are?
I mean, I already listed all their names.
That's what I mean. Like, are the super descriptive names? Are they going to just keep those? Because I think it'd be really funny if Bullock is just like naming people, and he's just like bald guy, no tie. Also, is there going to be like a main character for it, or
we'll discuss after I get to my
pilot episode?
Yeah, because yeah. So yeah, let's hear your series overview.
All right, so backstory. Actually, I found this a little. It seems a little bit more challenging. I might have been in a creative funk this week, but I had a couple ideas. Right. All right. So the first idea, as soon as we said American Dad, I was like, I know the perfect show. It would be following the Golden Turd, the greatest miniseries of all time, like within the show, which is like the Golden Turd is some of my best moments in American Dad. But I feel like if you did a full show on the Golden Turd, it would cheapen its moments in American Dad. I feel like its random appearances in American Dad are what make it greater than what it actually is.
I'd always get really excited when it went to widescreen.
Yeah, because Yeah. So I didn't do the Golden Turd. The second idea that I came up with was a show called Langley Falls, based on the CIA labs, because you know how Stan is always coming up with something from the CIA that they've created and invented. It's just like the goo where they go on vacations so that he can spend time away from his family. He had the pill that made him into a woman instead of being able to talk to women because he ate the whole pill and wasn't listening to the lady lab worker.
Right, the shrink ray.
Yeah,
the Men in Black technology.
Yeah, like there's so much technology, and then so my idea was going to be it falling into the wrong hands, and then crazy things happening inside Langley. But
sorry, when you first said Langley Falls and then you said CIA, I was just imagining The Office, but in the CIA.
Well, I mean, they did an episode of that.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How about the launch codes? Yeah. You're right.
Has anybody seen the launch codes? What are you guys filming anyway? Yeah. So it wasn't The Office. It was more of like a super sci-fi style thing. But then I was like, that's a little close to like Twin Peaks, Gravity Falls, like those styles shows. So I didn't elect to do that, and instead I elected to make a show based on the greatest character in American Dad history, Snot's uncle, who is
the cabbage farmer.
So, if you haven't seen that episode, I forgot the name of the episode, but the episode is when Snot and Toshi Berry and Steve are supposed to be helping his Jewish uncle for his cabbage farm, for his cabbage harvest.
That episode is called License to Till.
Yes. So yeah, Steve wants to be a cool kid, and Roger tries to make him a cool kid. He fails in his first idea, and then he's just like, "You'll be the first kid in your class to drive."
Yeah, he gets his tractor license. Yeah, he gets his tractor.
Yeah, he gets his tractor, and then he starts riding the cool kids around.
My problem with that episode was there were definitely older kids there, like who could drive,
but he was the designated driver. He wasn't drinking. Point. Yeah.
And he could fit all of them on the tractor.
Yeah. My favorite part of that episode when he's just like, I'm going to tell you a dark secret that would make us bond for the rest of our lives.
I thought we were going to spend a summer or two. Dark secret from my past would bond us for life.
But anyways, like all of that, and the point the point is that on Steve's uncle's farm, he harvests talking cabbage. His farm is full of talking cabbage. And the cabbage is voiced by television darling H. John Benjamin of Archer and Bob's Burgers.
Wait, doesn't he kill himself at the end of the episode?
Oh shit!
No,
he doesn't. He doesn't. No.
Other uncle, the music producer, he killed himself at the end. Okay,
that was also going to be one of my ideas, but then he killed himself because they were after what was it? Boy 13 came out.
One more boy.
One more boy. So yes, yes.
Be 12, you know you do.
But yeah, the show is based on his farm. You know, after the failure of the cabbage harvest, there is the one head of cabbage that he talked to originally, once again voiced by H. John Benjamin. It's him, and he decides that he is going to expand his market, and he begins to start creating a fuller fledged out farm featuring other talking vegetables. I couldn't get the word vegetable. Yes.
Any fruits though? Is there going to be some fruit vegetable conflict?
No, it's a vegetable farm.
Oh, okay.
Run by Scott's Jewish uncle and a head of cabbage.
Wait, the head of cabbage also runs it?
Yes.
Now I have a lot of questions about the origins of this talking cabbage farm.
Feel free. I mean, I don't have the answers to them.
Okay. How many Cabbage Patch Kid jokes are you going to be making during this show?
You know what? I forgot about Cabbage Patch Kids.
The world's forgotten about Cabbage Patch Kids also.
You know, I actually did forget about Cabbage Kids. What if it just opens up and it's just a tiny baby? I haven't been talking to a cabbage. I've been talking to a tiny child.
I've eaten so much of this cabbage.
There's so many baby deaths on my hands.
Children. Can never look at coleslaw the same way.
Okay, so what was your other question?
Also, I now that opens up some other questions too. So are these vegetables actually being eaten and sold? Like sold and eaten? Or is he just like, does he make no money off this farm and he's just talking to his vegetables?
Yeah, that's a point of conflict. He's talking to the vegetables, but they kind of have like a sausage party vibe where they don't know that like the big harvest means that they're going to be slaughtered.
Does the cabbage that he works with, does he know?
That is end of season reveal.
But he knew the whole time?
He's like, what happens when they go off the farm? And they're just like, oh, don't act like you don't know.
Snot's
like, I have no clue.
Snot's uncle actually doesn't know what happens, and the head of cabbage does. He thinks they're going off to this magical place.
That's great. That's great. The head of cabbage was the leader of the whole time. Snot's uncle has never eaten a vegetable in his life.
What'd you say is in this coleslaw?
I mean, it's plausible because, I mean, like at the end of the episode, he was like, I'm ruined because the rain came and destroyed the cabbage harvest. But it could have been because people were really in the market for magical talking cabbage instead of...
Can you please have a member of PETA be like the villain in this, in this show?
Oh my God. Why you're making this so much better?
Just make them seem like horrible people trying to butcher the vegetables.
Oh man, vegetables are people too.
Pigs don't have feelings. Come on, guys.
Have you ever talked to a pig? No. Well, you're talking to me, and it's just the head of cabbage.
Charlotte's Web is bullshit. That couldn't happen in real life. Spiders aren't friends. There was nothing special about Wilbur. Him saw the spider.
He was just bacon, okay?
I'm resisting going off into a Charlotte's Web tangent.
All right. Okay, so do you want to discuss your pilot episode? I have no idea how long we've run. It's been a while.
But hey, I feel like we're not terrible right now. Right, cool. I feel like this is moderately entertaining. You guys having fun?
Hopefully you're driving.
So how's traffic going? You stuck in traffic? Is this helping or is this hurting?
Please God, don't pick up your phone.
This podcast has caused several traffic accidents because people are just, we need to change this. And then they just crash because they're playing with their phone, trying to get off of this podcast.
Oh man, isn't that horrible? There's your last words are just hearing us talk about your last words.
I hope my voice is really shitty. Never the last thing anyone hears.
I apologize for your current demise, and I hope that you finally get a chance. Like, before I finish this sentence, I hope you've changed it to your favorite song. All right, so let's hear about your pilot episode.
So my pilot episode is going to open with bus driver opening his eyes, and he realizes that he is in a giant tub of goo. He looks around and he's in a communal tub with all of the other bus victims. The tub opens up and the goo pours out along with all of the people in it. And they're in just like a giant kind of like silo, like air hangar type building. It's shiny, it's metal. And then walking up from the end of the building is Avery Bullock. And he fills them and he explains to them what happened. He explains to them about the experiment. They are perfect secret soldiers that are going to work for a underground subdivision of the CIA. As he's explaining this, a portal to hell opens up and Brett Morris steps out, followed by Bobby the Bullet. Bobby the Bullet, his eyes are now bloodshot red. The bullet costume is kind of torn and burned and looks like it's been through hell. Okay, portal hell. Portal to hell opens up. Brett Morris steps out, followed by Bobby the Bullet. Brett points out that they got kicked out because Bobby the Bullet was too aggressive for hell. One of the 98 comments something about, like, makes some kind of sarcastic remark about Bobby Bullet, and then he just, like, looks at him and just attacks him and shreds him to pieces. And everyone just kind of steps back, leaves Bobby Bullet alone. And then Bullock just goes, "Welcome to the team." So Bullock is about to explain their first mission, and then someone walks up and whispers in his ear, and Bullock just goes, "Oops, seems like we don't have enough money for any more shady government operations. So this is shut down." So that everyone's kind of looking around, like wondering what they're going to do, and one of the agent pops up and comes up and says, "I do have a place we can go to be our operations, so we can keep this going for cheap, but we definitely won't be able to fit this many people." And then as he says that, a giant beam falls, crushing 62 of the people, or I guess 61 of the people, because one of them's already dead. So it's all of the people who weren't seen on the actual bus are just instantly killed. And so he looks around and is like, "All right, that'll work." Then it cuts to they are that agent who tells them they have a place. It's his mom's basement. So their head of operation is in this guy's mom's basement. And that's where they refer back to for every mission. So after all that's settled and they realize they're in a basement, they're told their first mission. They're told a horde of giant mutant lizards have escaped from a top secret government facility and are running wild in the city. And then it cuts to all of them standing around with giant buckets and pooper scoopers, cleaning up the poop of the giant lizards. So they're not actually containing the giant lizards. They're just scooping up the poop. And that ends the pilot episode of the 98. But pretty much it will continue where every mission is just a shit mission. And people will just, sporadically die throughout the series.
First of all, I love the fact that Avery is your Nick Fury. Freaking Patrick Stewart as Avery Bullock is one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yeah.
So like the fact that he's in your spinoff makes it 10 times better. Like already, like off the bat, like it's great. Like, and Bobby Bullet just being in a crazy demon-esque style.
He's just a demon bullet. He doesn't use guns either. That would be too easy. He just shreds people to pieces.
Yeah, like that's insane. And then just a friggin' giant beam coming down and killing 60 of the unseen characters in the show, which is like, there's a lot to like. I'm actually a fan of this show a lot. Like, just it has balls, and then it's a comedy, so it should do very well. My show, on the other hand.
I don't know. I feel like this talking vegetable show is going places.
All right, so
It fits nicely in the new talking food genre that Seth Rogen has started.
Yes. So the first episode is it takes place after the Great Rainstorm of License to Tell. After chasing the boys off of his farm, he comes back in ruins. He looks as all of the cabbage is ruined, and you just hear one voice, and it's like, over here. And he's like, what was that? And he's like, over here. And he runs to it, and he's like, he's just like coughing out water from the rain, and he's just like, you let them do this to us. You let them do this to all of us. And he's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did this. And he's like, no. He just takes the one head of lettuce that is not ruined into the house. And then the next day comes, and it's a sunny day. He looks, and a single tear, which is just a bead of water, drips from the head of lettuce's eye. Face. And he's like, I've never seen a whole family massacred in one night. And Solomon is Snot's uncle's name, by the way. I looked it up just for reference. So Uncle Solomon's like, maybe we should invest in vegetables that do not wither in the rain. So this is when they start to develop their farm. The first real scene after the credits roll, the opening credits roll, is Uncle Solomon showing the head of cabbage various pictures of vegetables, and him objectifying them. He's just like, I don't like her. just like zucchini, and he's like, not my speed.
Can he be just racist against one type of vegetable?
Oh my god.
It's like, I don't want any fucking carrots in here. I'm sure some of them are good people, but most of those carrots.
All right, so he's picking out vegetables, and they stumble upon potatoes, tomatoes, which they have a big fight about, and
wait, why do they have a big fight about tomatoes?
The whole fruit or vegetable thing.
God.
So it's potatoes, tomatoes, and damn, I forgot what the other one was. I came up with this at work and I forgot, but it was another thing. Let's, for the sake of it, say the zucchini.
Nobody likes zucchini. It's perfect.
Have you had fried zucchini? Fried zucchini is really good.
You know, you can fry it like other things, right? That tastes better.
So we went to this place in Arizona. There was this burger place, and they had fried zucchini, but like we ordered fried like jalapeno poppers. Mm-hmm. We went to the table and we started eating them, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? And then we're just like, no, this is zucchini, but it was actually really good.
Yeah, but like there's so many better things you can eat fried versions of. The fact that you're like, what the fuck is this, means that it's probably not that great.
No, it was good. We were just, it wasn't a, all right, so like, can you expect to eat something?
Yes, I get that, but I'm just saying
that's why we were confused. Like, what? We ate all of it. Like it was, and
I feel like zucchini just doesn't have any flavor.
And got tater tots. I mean, it tastes like a water fruit. I mean, a water vegetable. Like all of those, like cucumber, zucchini. Like
I'm not frying cucumber. I mean, fried pickles though are delicious.
I mean, I like cucumbers too. So, but
I like cucumbers, but like I'm not frying up a cucumber.
I mean, but fried zucchini was delicious.
What I'm saying is like fried anything is going to be good. Like there's so many other fried foods that you can eat that are going to top fried. If I gave you,
so what's, you had to choose, what's healthier than zucchini that you're going to fry that tastes better? The fact that you're
frying it completely counteracts any health benefits.
Does it?
Onion rings. Onions are just as healthy as zucchini is.
Is it?
I mean, they're vegetables, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have as much fiber.
They're on the same general level, but as soon as you put it in fried oil, they're at the same unhealthy level. The health benefits of the zucchini are not benefiting you when you've got oil clogging up your arteries. All these otters swimming around in my body. Sliding on their bellies and shit.
Oh, man.
Trying to think of an otter thing. Opening clams. Where were we? How did this start?
Picking out fruit. I mean, picking out vegetables. I keep saying fruit now. It's a vegetable farm. All right. The point is, so he completes his harvest and cabbage starts a relationship with the potato. That's pretty much it.
Oh, I feel like we're switching places now. I feel like that's one of my pitches where I'm just like, yeah, and stuff happens.
I lost it all. That's it. All right.
Is it at least like a Romeo and Juliet type love? Is it forbidden?
No, it's not. Actually,
everyone's cool with intervegetable.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. That was bullshit. All right, so. The cabbage actually starts using Tinder, and he falls in love with an actual woman, but he realizes that he cannot make love to her because he's a cabbage. So he puts the head of cabbage on the head of Solomon and lets him use his body as a surrogate. But falling in love with a potato just sounds more acceptable than that. Would you make love to a head of cabbage?
There's things I could say. I'm going to choose to say nothing.
All right. So, what channel is your show on?
Oh my god, I feel like the 98 can stay. I think it can stay on TBS. I think TBS is a pretty safe place for this kind of these kind of shows to continue. I feel like they've treated American Dad pretty well, and the 98, is same kind of feel as American Dad. So yeah, let's say TBS. How about yours?
Mine is also on TBS.
Very funny.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's their catchphrase.
No, that's why I said it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to put on like Comedy Central.
Very funny.
Does Comedy Central have a catchphrase? Yeah. Comedy Central's catchphrase is just like, we have South Park. Comedy Central is kind of a catchphrase in itself.
Yeah, if you don't know what it is by the title.
Comedy Central, we have jokes. Like what?
Comedy Central, all the drama happens here. The all dramas.
Just out of nowhere.
No comedy.
Like they just switched to like dramedies at first. And you're like, all right, things got dark, and then they just full on dramas.
They start by showing reruns of Teen Mom, and then they slowly go into scripted dramas.
Why is losing Isaiah on Comedy Central? I have no idea. What's on Comedy Central tonight? Blue Valentine? What?
They keep replaying Schindler's List.
What is going on? It's not April Fools.
Just have a double feature of Schindler's List and Sophie's Choice. Came here for laughs.
Why is it Comedy Central? Okay, but yeah, nah, TBS definitely for my show. TBS for your show as well. I mean, honestly, if I'm thinking about it, that's the best network for
everything.
Yeah,
all shows should be on TBS. Why are there any other networks?
No, no. So, have you like watched TBS shows?
Watched a couple.
No, what shows have you seen? Have you seen People of Earth?
Yes.
People of Earth is awesome. It's a good show. The Detour is.
That's one I definitely want to see. Have not seen yet, but
yeah, that's I didn't think that they'd be able to keep it up for as long as they have, but it's really good.
I remember first seeing the trailer for that and being like, "That looks like not a TV show."
Yeah,
like that looks like a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently they're pulling it off, and it looks good.
And then like even the was it Wrecked, the show about the airplane crash?
That one, yeah, that has funny moments in too. I've caught a few episodes of that.
Yeah,
I don't hardcore watch any TBS shows, but the ones I've seen,
I watched all the People of Earth. As soon as I started watching People of Earth, I was like, this is really good.
There's another one on there that I've been meaning to watch too, and I can't think of what it is. Maybe I'm thinking people. No, what network is Last Man on Earth on?
That's Fox.
That's Fox. Okay.
That show got canceled. R.I.P. Last Man on Earth.
Well, maybe TBS will pick it up.
I mean, it could. Picked up American
That would not
Dad.
Surprise me at all. That feels like a TBS show.
That actually does feel like a TBS show.
Hey, TBS.
Pick up Last Man on Earth.
If you're listening to this, of course, I feel like that if anyone's from TBS listening to this, we should try to promote them picking up
the show that we just
our pitches. No, Last Man on Earth.
Well, I mean, I guess, all right, so the thing is, with our shows, we don't own the rights to anything, so like...
Call Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, like...
Right now.
Yeah, TBS, if you're listening to this, call Seth MacFarlane and tell him that you
have him steal our ideas and use them, and you don't have to pay us, because we put these out for free.
All right, so you don't have to pay us, but like, at least let us be consultants on the show.
They're not going to give us shit.
I just want my name on the show.
Let's be honest, no one's listening to this. We could just start saying the most horrible things. No one would care because no one is listening.
You're absolutely right. All right, so how many episodes do you think my show lasts?
We're not even doing seasons, just episodes.
I feel like my show is just an episode of American Dad at this point. I've completely abandoned my episode. Brian wins. This is the first secession in spinoff history.
All right, so your show, Talking Vegetables, I feel like it's going to get the one season. You're going to set up the finale arc of the cabbage snowing, and people are going to kind of be under the impression it's going to get a second season, and then it's not going to get a second season.
I'm just thinking there's so many other options I could have chose now. The squirrel president.
Oh my god! It could be just Designated Survivor, but with squirrels.
Yeah, I mean, that's
it would be a pretty easy pitch too. All you'd have to say is that.
Oh man, but that's the greatest thing about American Dad. Their side stories are so wonderful. There's so many things I could have chosen.
Yeah, no, it was really hard for me. I don't even know where I came up with this one, but then it was really hard to think of who I was going to spin off.
I was going to do a show about Principal Brian Lewis, but he is 100% a problematic character, and I don't know if the show would be able to last.
I was seriously also contemplating doing a show that was, again, all my spin-offs are very specific to one particular episode. But the most recent Christmas episode where he
with Krampus, where his dad becomes Krampus?
No, that's not the most recent one.
No shit. What's the most recent one?
The most recent one is where he wishes that he was single. He was a single guy like Brian Lewis.
Is that the most recent one?
That's the most recent one.
Nah, I think the one with Krampus as his dad is the most recent one.
No. All right, hold up.
Oh, okay. Never. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's the most recent episode, but I was for some reason thinking that they're two different episodes. But you're talking about, so he wishes he was single and he made the wish and Roger came with him, and then he wishes he had his family back.
Oh,
and then he gets his real family back.
Yeah, and he goes and he's with a different family. Yeah. And the angel or whatever is like, oh yeah, that family you've been living with was a punishment family, and we just forgot to put you back to your real family.
Yeah.
So one of my spinoffs was going to be just in that, like, his real family world. So that was also one of them.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the most recent one though.
It may have not been the most recent one, but it definitely was after the Krampus one, the one where his dad becomes Krampus.
Gotcha.
No matter what, I'm right. I've designed this whole podcast just so I can win arguments.
You win.
All right.
So you said you gave me a season.
Yeah, I gave you a season. I'm sorry. I don't think it's.
That's fine. I gave myself an episode. So I think your show is actually really inventive, and I like it a lot. So I'm going to give it at least, I'm going to go 7 seasons.
Wow, that is the most out of this 3-episode podcast.
I'll give it 7 seasons.
The most seasons you've given to one of my shows.
Yeah, I think 5 of them are going to run concurrently with American Dad, and then American Dad is going to go away, and there's going to be 2 more seasons of this show.
Here's the thing also with my my pitch. There is continuity errors with that episode because some of the characters who were seen killed off show up in scenes later in American Dad. So this show would actually fix all that because they'd be alive in the show. So you can completely fit it in with those scenes. So hey, I'm fixing your continuity errors, American Dad. you can pick up my show.
So guys, after listening to this episode, vote for Brian's episode.
Have we set up? I feel like in the first episode we gave a very specific site to go to.
Yeah, it was a Tumblr,
and we have not set it up.
It was spinoff.tumblr.com, and we checked to see if it was still there, and it was.
Okay,
and then
so
we also
maybe
didn't
we'll set
that
up. We don't know.
The only thing is that. So, like, if these episodes are to come out weekly, they would probably expect to know who the winner was from the other episode, and we don't release them.
We don't need to say
like
it. We
prior.
can announce it on the Tumblr. Follow us on Tumblr. Follow us on Twitter. We'll make a Twitter page. It's either actually I kind of like our Gmail. Our Gmail. We have a Gmail. We have an email that you can email us. So just spam us chainmail.
Mm-hmm. If you want to fish, definitely our Gmail is the perfect site for fishing.
Yeah.
If you want to catfish us, my Tinder name is Spinoff Podcasts.
If you're a Nigerian prince who needs to be saved and needs us to send you money, please send that to our email account.
I'm poor, but if you tell me that you're going to convert it to about $1.3 million in Bitcoin, I am in. I'll do it.
But our Gmail is spinoffthepodcast@gmail.com. I'm not sure if that name, we have not set up any other accounts as far as this is coming out.
We have nothing else
recorded. But so things will either be Spinoff the Podcast or just Spinoff Podcast.
But yeah, we should be creating at the very least we'll create an Instagram because that's not hard to make.
They'll just all be pictures of my face.
Yeah. It'll just be pictures of microphones that we don't have. Like new podcasts coming out.
One day, guys.
If you saw where we were podcasting, you'd be like, I don't ever want to see a picture of their podcast setup.
So we're podcasting. You just send us money.
Yeah. We're going to start a Patreon before the podcast comes out.
But we should definitely talk it up like this is a super well-known podcast.
Yeah.
You haven't heard about Spinoff?
We're just like going into production on the 6th season of Spinoff Podcast, and we need your help, all of our loyal fans. All right, guys, we are going to end this episode right now. Once again, you can let us know in the comments below or the comments above. There might be comments somewhere.
Section?
Hey, man.
What kind of podcast are you listening to?
We could. I mean, this could be hosted on YouTube.
It could.
Yeah.
It could. It's just our faces.
No, I mean, it wouldn't even be our faces. It would be the artwork.
One day we will have. My goals for this podcast are one day we have a live show, and one day we do like a live recording. So we're recording so people can see what we look like and see how fucking awkward we are.
I'm not awkward.
So how fucking awkward I am.
Good. I have stage fright, so I would be the most awkward person of all time.
This podcast is a live show would be the worst thing ever. I would give people money back if they had to actually pay tickets to go see it.
I think we'd just have to pay people to see it.
It's like, I'm so sorry, guys. Why did you come to this? They'd also realize how much I edit this show.
There's a lot. The live show was 3 hours, but the episode was 26 minutes long.
It's not even just for time restraints. It's just me taking out stupid shit that I say. and there'd be a lot of ums and likes. The amount of ums and likes that I leave in the podcast, there's like 10 times more in there that I didn't take out.
Look forward to our next podcast called Ums and Likes. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be exactly like that.
It could be like see what I'm doing yet?
Yeah.
Going.
All right. So, are we ever gonna finish this?
Nope.
All
right. All right. Did we cover all the bases of things? Okay. So vote wherever you can vote. We might. You can vote on Twitter now too. You can do polls on Twitter.
Yeah, you can do polls on Twitter. You can do polls on
places.
YouTube.
We'll set a poll somewhere. Links in the description of where you can vote.
Vote for the Cabbage Show just for shits and gigs.
It could be different from the last couple places. We'll see what happens. This podcast is evolving as we go.
We should know where we're polling by the time that at least the first one goes up.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about anything.
But yeah, so please vote.
Please vote.
Please comment if this is on iTunes, which I hope it is. Rate us, hopefully well, or just give us a star and say you guys suck, because that will hurt my feelings and put my life into perspective and keep me grounded. So,
yay.
So you've been listening to the Spinoff Podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Shaheer.
Bye. Off. Spinoff Podcast.
Thanks for listening to Spinoff Podcasts. We are actually live, which is something that we never thought we would do. We assumed that these would never be heard by anybody, but since they are, we wanted to let you know that you can actually vote for your favorite spinoff at tangentcreates.com/spinoff. That is tangentcreates.com/spinoff. That's it for us today. Hope you enjoyed the episode and hope you continue